At 11 o'clock, we got Youngstown State, the Penguins, the best name of all time, traveling to the Michigan State Spartans on the Big Ten Network. What happened last week for the Penguins? They had a 44-41 win in overtime over Incarnate World. Dimitri Crenshaw went 9-12 for 112 yards and a touchdown. Jaleel McLaughlin had 29 carries. This was the impressive part of the day. 242 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. And Dimitri Crenshaw had 20 carries for 81 yards and 2 touchdowns, which I found really interesting that their quarterback was probably their second best running back of the day. But it ended up carrying them to a win. Good for the Penguins picking up a win. Now they travel to Michigan State Spartans, who, as it turns out, had a very good week 1. They went 1-0. Obviously, they won the game. They had a 38-21 win over Northwestern. Peyton Thorne went 15-25 for 185 yards and a touchdown. That was not the impressive part of the game, though. That one goes to Kenneth Walker III. He ended up having 25 carries in this game for 264 yards and 4 touchdowns. He definitely looks to be the bell cow back for this team. This is a guy who transferred out of Wake Forest to Michigan State and has definitely made himself one of the top targets for Michigan State. And if you want to be Michigan State, you got to figure out how to stop this man. Jaden Reed, the leading receiver, had 5 receptions for 64 yards. Only 5 people caught passes on the day, mainly because they became a very ground-heavy offense once they took a large lead. Plus, Kenneth Walker was so productive, I feel like you couldn't not give him the ball. The defense held the Wildcats to only 7 points until the 4th quarter, which is extremely impressive. Wildcats were, in fact, a playoff contender deep all the way to the Big Ten championship game last year, so the ability to beat them for the 2nd straight year is very impressive by Michigan State. Now, does the Penguins really have a chance against Michigan State? I'm going to go with not, right? I think this is a Michigan State team that has really turned around, like, on a dime, really. It was that quick. It was pretty impressive. This is a Michigan State team that I don't think, obviously, can compete for a Big Ten title this year, but if you're going to be talking about teams that can that you look to upset teams like Penn State and Ohio State, I think you're looking at Michigan State as a possible underdog in this conference to go in and beat one of those 2 teams. I think Michigan State has the chance of being a 9-3 team, a 10-2 team, around there. I think this is a very good Spartans team. So give me the Spartans to win this one in a blowout fashion against Youngstown State.